Welcome back to a special episode of the Hearthstone Report. Once again, it seems like every one of these is special nowadays since we're not doing them every Sunday, but whenever we feel like doing them. But I think I think we're gonna keep doing it if people appreciate this, because that way we can get news out faster. If there's like news coming up early in the week, we don't have to wait to the weekend to get it done, so we'll just get news out whenever we can. Today we have a couple different patches of news, and JJ, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
We got some Hearthstone news as far as I have heard, I've been told by sources.
So, first of all, I want to remind everyone that at June 3rd, the new patch hits. The Rise of Mech patch that introduces a new card, updates a bunch of old cards, and changes the arena rotation. Yeah. For more information, check out the last report.
We mentioned exactly what sets are going to be in there, and we also talked about the card that's coming in new.
Talking about that card. There was some concerns there with our buddy Snip Snap.
Yeah, and exactly what we talked about in the last report, by the way, the Reckless Experimenter idea.
Yeah.
You play Coppertail Imposter on 4, or get any mech to stick for that matter. You play a Reckless Experimenter, and then you play as many Snip Snaps as you want on an already existing mech for instant win.
And this will not work, not because they changed it to only reduce it by 2, as a lot of people have suggested, but instead they've changed it to now not be able to reduce below 1.
The Reckless Experimenter, that is.
Yes, sorry, correct. I should have specified that.
So Reckless Experimenter can now no longer reduce the cost of a card to 0. Just 1.
So that is kind of huge, but only specifically to Snip Snap. I don't think anyone is really too miffed about that. No. I've seen like one person in the comment section under like the forum post complaining, but I don't think anything's really affected by that.
You can still try out stuff with Mech Warpers in Wild.
It is confirmed that we're gonna be able to disenchant the Reckless Experimenter for full dust, since it is technically being nerfed.
That is good.
Not like any decks are usually affected by that.
Yeah. Also, if you have it dusted, everyone in the world who has Reckless Experiment, you want to dust this card once full refund is granted.
Talking about which cards you should or shouldn't dust, that brings us to our next announcement. Our dusting guide is gonna come out in 2 days, the first part.
TrashcanTV dusting guide. We're looking at legendary class cards in the first video. In the second one, we're going to be looking at neutral legends, all the ones that aren't standard. We're going to give you 5 categories and telling you what to dust, what to keep, and what to consider again.
And we are also, for the first time ever, going to do guides on epics.
Yes, we're doing epics. Last time we had only legends for the last expansion. We're doing epics this time because those cards do hold some value, and I've gotten some requests about it, so we're going to be kind of doing it the same way, looking at class epics and neutral epics. After we're done with the legends, commons and rares we're probably not going to cover, just because there's not enough value in those. For general information on what to dust, if you're kind of curious about that, look at our beginner's guide. We mentioned that in the section about collection management, how to efficiently manage your dust economy. There's some rules of thumb there that you should follow.
And after all of that channel self-promotion, there is actually only 2 more minor things to mention. Although this episode, of course, was very necessary because of the Reckless Experimenter Nerf in particular. There's 2 more things. First of all, the current Tavern Brawl rewards a Rise of Shadows pack.
Not a classic pack.
Exactly. This is noteworthy because that rarely ever is the case.
That is rarely ever.
Now, Rise of Shadows packs, especially currently, are probably the best pack to get, especially if you have been playing for a while and have a relatively extensive classic collection, because of the extra dust value from the nerfs, and also a lot of Rise of Shadows cards being very meta.
Yeah,
so,
it being the newest set. Exactly.
Even if you don't normally play the brawls, this is your time. Play this one.
Play the brawl every week, by the way. Play it.
You should, but this one in particular.
The brawl is also pretty fun because you can kind of pick your own brawl. Out of the historic brawls, I think it's the 207th Tavern Brawl.
Yeah.
And you get a selection of previous historic brawls, and you can pick a theme and then play that. It's pretty fun.
I feel like someone was like, oh, this is our 207th brawl. God damn it, I just had an idea that would have been cool for number 200. And someone else was like, just do it anyway.
Exactly. Kind of what it feels like, doesn't it? Well, what are you rapping? Like, what's your brawl that you pick in there?
I personally like a lot of them, but the one I've played, the one time I didn't play so far, I'm gonna play it more, was the one where your spells also summon minions of the same cost.
All right. I'm all team Void Singularity, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, Void Singularity.
That time when I played that, I also faced Void Singularity, but it's just so weak to single target removal.
I like Void Singularity. I really like it. I've won with it. It's one of the funner brawls. The best brawl of all time, in my opinion, still is the 2-card one, where you just get 2 cards, you fill an entire deck with copies of them.
Yeah, obviously
they wasn't eligible.
Yeah, obviously the only ones that are eligible are the ones that have pre-constructed decks,
Yeah.
which by the way means that there's no disincentive to actually playing it, because some people don't like constructing decks for brawls.
Yep.
You don't have to.
You just get a random deck, which is good.
Yeah.
That's an interesting piece of news. Go play the brawl.
And the last thing, talking about ways to get Rise of Shadows packs, the 4th wing of the single player content is out. So yeah, as per usual, you can get 3 packs for beating 5 bosses. So if you're interested in that, that's something you can.
And you can beat the level
purchase.
for beating all 8 bosses. Surprise.
What?
You can get the level beat for beating all 8 bosses.
Yeah.
The beating the chat. Massive surprise. Got some new characters, new decks, new hero powers to experiment with. We're still playing this series ourselves. Not quite at chapter 4 yet, because the gold is limited, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean,
And we're gonna play all 5 of them.
So far, we've also had to release the videos in a certain time frame. We can't just put them out daily, so.
Exactly, because JJ really wants that Shadow Cloak.
But yeah, definitely.
He's about that Shadow Cloak. Because that's a good bit of dust.
That's,
You could play around with it a little bit, maybe try it out, see what kind of decks he gives you.
After we unlock him, I guess that's also going to be a
play
video
with him,
for sure.
And then we dust him later. But we're gonna play with him first. So that's all for today.
Yes.
Kind of decently sized, not that long of an episode. We're not gonna draw it out any more than we need to. Let us know what you think about the Reckless Experimenter thing, man. Do you think they did it justice, or was that kind of do you think they missed it? Like when they put it Snip Snap, do you think they just missed this interaction and now they made a panic nerf to Reckless Experimenter?
The way they worded the forum post
Sounds like they
made
did.
it sound like it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh yeah, it was recently pointed out to us that Reckless Experimenter has an unfavorable interaction with Snip Snap.
Did you
so
not
we
play
decided
test your stuff? Man, that was weird. I read that article.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like they knew what they were
If
doing.
you want to read it by yourself, by the way, you can put it in the description of the video, and you can have a look at that.
Granted,
But,
if you don't do extensive playtesting for, at the end of the day, only including a single new card,
yeah,
I can see how someone could oversee this obscure card that no one actually plays.
that's fair enough. But so that's what's going down. Leave a like on this video if you could take the time to do so. We'd appreciate that a lot. And have a look around our Discord server. Link to that is in the description. You've seen it before. We have a Discord server for our community. You can join. It's for free. Talk to us. Talk to our community. And let's get better at Hearthstone together. You know, help each other out with some helpful tips. And keep up on some news there too. We'll get you posted on what's happening. So go have a look at that, and we'll be glad to welcome you there. When we'll see you in the next video then. JJ.
That's it.
That's it.